Got a few ideas circulating today, so we'll see what wants to come out. But I think it's about this question, who are you? Because in a lot of what I've been expressing these days, it's I think even since the beginning of starting to express on YouTube in this more intentional, heart-centered approach has been about removing these masks, has been about stopping with the blending and the chameleoning, and with truly rediscovering who I really am. Stopping the quest for something on the external, outside, looking for something when really what I discovered I was really looking for was myself, and to actually stop looking outwards and start to look inwards to begin to figure out what it was that I really wanted and who I really was. And so as I'm expressing all of this newfound passion really for this piece of really allowing, giving myself permission to be my true self in not just alone in front of a camera speaking like this on YouTube, but with other people. I see that some people are still stuck in some of the things that people are saying to me when I'm trying to talk about this. I see that people are misunderstanding what I'm saying when I say we can be our true selves in front of others. We can remove our masks and allow that true self to shine through. It seems like a lot of people are responding with, well, I've tried that and it went horribly, or I got fired, or I'm not allowed to do that in this particular space because I'm expected to do something else. Like, I understand all of that because I've lived it and I've experienced it as well. And I know that in some cases we still feel that, and we'll always feel that, because it's true that there are expectations sometimes. It's true that there are some parts of ourselves that are maybe inappropriate to bring out in certain spheres. I mean, we have to be realistic too. We are more than one thing. We aren't just kind of this super light and bubbly or happy kind of sides of ourselves that we wish we could maybe present to the world at all times. Sometimes we are maybe this, and when I say are, like, we aren't these behaviors. We are not our behaviors, but the way that we act and the way we come out sometimes, maybe when we're in kind of like a darker mood, or the emotions that we're feeling that we are not, but that we want to express sometimes. Sometimes it can be inappropriate to express our darker sides in certain situations. And so when I'm saying, like, removing our mask and expressing who we really are in these spaces, and being our truest selves, not being that imposter, not being all of these kind of roles that we have found for ourselves to play in life's game, because I think a lot of us are really good at playing the game. If you're still kind of following along in my expressions, you're probably like me in the fact that you are an excellent chameleon. You know how to play the game. You know you can feel what is expected of you in certain situations. You know even sometimes what energy is missing in a room, and so you act as the balancer to kind of bring things back so that things are running smoothly within a group kind of setting or situation. And so you lose yourself. You totally lose yourself, and you spend your lifetime not even knowing who you really are. And there's a certain beauty when you can start to understand what you've been doing your whole life, when you've been in that role of balancing or playing the part so that things go smoothly, so you can get your way, so that Other people, you're keeping other people happy because you know that you're giving them what they want and they're expecting, but you forget yourself. And when I'm trying to talk about removing masks and being really who you really are in situations, I'm talking about finding a way to keep harmony because we know that we can sometimes throw things out of balance. We can experiment with that and see how that goes. And sometimes it's required, but trying to feel for when it's time to kind of rock the boat or when it's time to pull back a little bit and let things play out too. I mean, this is where we have power, and this is where we begin to use our power with wisdom. So recognizing when it's time to just sit there and be and hold the space for other things to play out, recognizing when it's the time to actually say something because you've observed something, or recognizing when it's time for you to wear that mask to help something go smoother, or when it's time for you to stick up for yourself and your values and your needs and really shine who you are. Because sometimes it's, if you're like me, you've been dimming your light because it makes people uncomfortable. For me, and with what I've been expressing a lot these days, I feel like I'm surrounded by an incredible amount of negativity, pessimism, people who have just kind of given up or don't have faith in life anymore. And I realize that it makes them uncomfortable when I allow myself to feel something better than that. And it's taken me a lot of work to even allow myself to feel something better than that weight. Because a lot of my life I've been in that place. And when I started letting myself come out of that place, it was hard at first. I made other videos kind of expressing that difficulty, because when you think you are the person who is carrying that weight, who is negative, or who is angry, or when you think you are all of those emotions or all of those behaviors that you've experienced or lived with in the past, and you allow yourself to stay in that heavier, denser energy and place, you think that's who you are. And it's hard to begin to allow yourself to be that lighter person. You feel like maybe it's fake, or you feel like other people will think it's weird, or that you're putting on a show or something. It's true. In the beginning, when we start to change, some people call this like the spiritual awakening, because you're changing, you're shifting, you're moving up, you're up leveling. And it is weird for people that are around you at first, because they're used to seeing you in a different space. So it's weird for you, it's weird for the people around you, but you can't let that stop you. And that was kind of like the words that came through for me this morning. Is like, don't let the haters get you down, but not just like haters like on YouTube or something, but the people around you who are just choosing and deciding to stay in that space of hopelessness. That's their choice. And that's who they think they are right now, because that's the world that they're creating around them. But the truth is that you have the choice to create the world that you want, the life that you want, and the way that you react to everything, the way that you respond, the way you behave, the way you channel emotions through you, and the way that you work with the things that you feel, allow you to begin to detach from those things and get back to who you really are. Because you are not those things. You are not like those necessarily those like super positive emotions or the negative emotions. You are this essence that is just pure, and it's really a gift to be able to begin to start connecting with that again. And it takes work sometimes, because We're just so conditioned. But when we can begin to really connect with that for ourselves, for me, it started for myself first on through video like this. And now I'm really trying to take that into my social circles. And it's definitely not going to be easy because of all the things that I mentioned before, the expectations, the roles that we do have to play sometimes, and feeling for when we can truly allow ourselves to shine, or when we do have to pull back a little bit. It's all feeling, it's all experience, it's all wisdom and maturity. And it does take trial and error, and there are mistakes that happen, but all we can do is learn and grow from them. I'll leave it there for now. So I hope that this was helpful. Let me know your thoughts on this, because it's been my work. This is kind of me trying to summarize and express the deepest, most important work that I feel I've been doing, and that I like to think would be beneficial for a lot of people, and that, that it's something that a lot of people are actually looking for themselves, but they don't realize it. Let me know what this brings up for you, what your experience has been with this, how it's working out. Thanks, and I'll see you in another expression.